Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. Today is small sizing, creating a small account. Looks like the Nikkei is kept down for real. But yeah, there is still a bullish tendency. I mean, generally speaking, it's but if the Nikkei is gonna go further up, there's gonna be a lot of consolidation now. I see there's a lot of price action on the daily chart. Dollar is still, well, in the tricky area. Guess we have to wait and see for Tokyo opening, what's that gonna be.
Order filled.
No, this is gonna go down.
Order filled.
Oh, sorry, you can see that. There we go, and we hatched. Well, it was worth a try.
Down, left, right, I stand by your side. Low, high, up, tight, now let's take a ride. Flashing a smile, cover it up, but there's no surprise. As long as my heart goes, I got the beat. I got the beat. I got the beat. I got the beat of the night. Down, left, right, I stand by your side. Low, high, up, tight, now let's take a ride. Flashing a smile, cover it up, but there's no surprise. As long as my heart goes, I got the beat. I got the beat. I got the beat. I got the beat of the night.
sound bites from Michael Cohen, the former lawyer of President Trump, saying that Trump behaved much like a mobster would do. Reminder that in 10 minutes' time, we've got data from Japan, quite a slate of numbers to get through. The ones we're going to focus on first are industrial production, then retail sales and retail trade, and then finally the weekly investment flows for Japan. So we'll start then looking quickly at some of the forecasts. So industrial production, these are preliminary figures for January, flash figures. Expected to be a drop of 2.5% month on month, compares to a drop of 0.1% in December. Industrial production year on year expected to be 1.3% higher, reversing a drop of 1.9% in December. Then retail trade for January year on year expected to be up 1.4%, extending from the 1.3% recorded in December. Retail sales expected to be down 0.8%, reversing a gain of 0.9% in December. Japanese department store and supermarket sales in January expected to drop by 1.8%, compares to a drop of 1% in December. And then the investment flows, there are no forecasts for these, so we'll just look at the previous week's numbers. So Japanese buying of foreign bonds a week ago was an inflow of 193.7 billion Japanese yen. Japanese buying of foreign stocks a week earlier was an outflow of 59.1 billion. Foreign buying of JGBs a week ago was an inflow of 84.3 billion Japanese yen. And foreign buying of Japanese stocks a week earlier was an outflow of 52.9 billion.
Maybe it's not such a good idea. 15 minutes before the opening. This is still pre-market, Japanese pre-market.
I'm here just to observe the Asian session.
Yeah. Jackie is still here or again here?
Yeah, I'm still here, just hanging out.
Okay.
I live in Discord now.
Okay. I can live with that. Me too.
Yeah, it's kind of true actually. You're always on.
Looks like the Nikkei is gonna go down. Fighting pretty hard.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The yen was gonna fall off, and all of the trades gonna take advantage.
There's quite some momentum there. It moves pretty fast for pre-market. I better hedge that. Waiting for the opening. This is pretty volatile now. The dollar goes up, this is gonna hurt.
So just a reminder, we've got data from Japan in about a minute and a half's time. Recap then of the forecasts. We're expecting preliminary January industrial production month on month to drop 2.5% and to rise by 1.3% year on year. Retail sales in January expected to be up by 1.4% year on year, and retail sales month on month to be down 0.8%. Department store supermarket sales in January expected in Japan to be down 1.8%. Remember, we've also got the investment flow numbers, which we will record straight after that. But we'll be starting with the industrial production numbers, followed by the retail sales. 10 seconds.
Oh, there are news.
Yep, 10 seconds.
Minus 3.7% month on month industrial production. That's a miss. And flat for the year on year. That also is a miss. Retail trade comes in at 0.6% up, again a miss. And retail sales month on month are down 2.3%, a miss. Department store supermarket
Nothing
sales
moving.
down 3.3%. Again, a miss.
Oh, the spread moving.
Sound familiar? We've also got the investment flow numbers through. So Japanese buying of foreign bonds is an inflow of 1 trillion Japanese yen. That's a big move there. Japanese buying of foreign stocks is an outflow, however, of 200.4 billion yen. Foreign buying of JGBs is an inflow of 317.2 billion yen, and foreign buying of Japanese stocks is an outflow of 15.2 billion yen. There are revisions to those figures as well. The previous week, the Japanese buying of foreign bonds has been scaled up slightly to 196.2 billion yen, so slight improvement there. And also a revision to the previous week for foreign buying of Japanese stocks, an outflow of 53.3 billion is a slightly bigger outflow than previously recorded.
Nikkei is
So
going
back
down.
to the main numbers then. Industrial production for Japan these are preliminary numbers for January, is a miss at a drop of 3.7%. We were expecting just a drop of 2.5%. Year-on-year industrial production is flat. We were expecting it to rise 1.3%. Retail sales in retail trade rather year-on-year in January up just 0.6%. We were expecting a surge of 1.4%. Retail sales month-on-month down 2.3%. We were expecting just a drop of 0.8%. And department store supermarket sales down 3.3%. We were expecting a drop of just 1.8%. There are no revisions to the back month.
There we go.
Almost solid as houses. The dollar yen has hardly moved at all on those numbers. Right now it's 110.87. That compares with 110.89 just prior to the release of those numbers.
Sure, it didn't move. The stock market is not open yet.
The Japanese currency on those numbers.
Have you noticed the 4-hour high on the USD/JPY?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was seeing if you noticed the 4-hour high on the USD/JPY.
No, but I can't look right now. Gotta give me a few minutes. Just need to rescue a trade. Looks like my microphone is fucked again. Oh, I hate Windows. Testing.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, but on the live stream it sounds like I'm speaking to a can or something.
Breaking news. Again, I repeat, we got breaking news coming up right now.
Nikkei is still on the way down.
And a reminder that at the top of the hour, we've got data from New Zealand, as well as we've got data just a minute after that from the UK. So starting off then with the New Zealand numbers at midnight London time. It's the ANZ activity outlook for February. There's no forecast for this. It came in at 13.6 in January. Also, the ANZ business confidence figure for February. Again, no forecast. It dropped by 24.1 in January. We're going to start with that number, the ANZ business confidence for February. Also, a minute later, we get UK data, the GfK consumer confidence for February, expected to be minus 15 compared to minus 14 in January. We also get
the yen is going up, but the Nikkei is going down.
The UK Lloyd's business
that could be just volatility.
February, again, no forecast for that one. Came in at 19 in January.
Yeah, there we go. And back down. We will see in 3 minutes. Looks like the VWAP gonna be at the same price today. But the Nikkei is gonna drop. This looks pretty certain. Generally, it's still kinda bullish. Not so sure about today or right now.
So about a minute to go now to the New Zealand numbers. A reminder, it's the ANZ business confidence number we're going to go with first for February, and then the activity outlook for February.
Gold is still on the way up, sort of.
Just referencing the Kiwi dollar there at the moment at 68.52. It seems to have picked up a little bit in the last few moments. Literally just now 68.53 from 68.45. That's just ahead of those numbers. We wonder if that's just somebody getting excited and a fat finger situation. But anyway, the currency definitely picked up a little bit there. Those numbers out in just under 10 seconds. Minus 30.9 of business confidence extends its losses there in New Zealand, and the activity outlook 10.5, again a deterioration from the previous month. So those numbers suddenly moved the currency the other way. Now we're seeing the Kiwi dollar down at 68.42, and sliding further. So it's now lower than it was just prior to going into those numbers. 68.38 even now. It continues to slide. Just to recap then, ANZ business confidence in February is minus 30.9, compares to a drop of 24.1 in January. And the ANZ activity outlook for New Zealand in February, 10.5, compares with 13.6 recorded in January. Looks like the currency's now found its feet at least. It's at 68.40 to the US dollar. So it compares with around 68.45 that we saw earlier. All in all, net, not a big move on the currency. Data now coming through for the UK. GfK consumer confidence is minus 13, so that's a slight beat of the expected minus 15. And the
Nikkei is going one way only today.
Comes in at 4. Compares to a figure of 19, however, in January. So that's a big scale back in the Lloyd's Business Barometer. So the GfK consumer confidence there for the UK coming in at minus 13, compares to an expected minus 15, and compares to last month's minus 14. So all those numbers pretty rocky as they are. Not much movement on cable following those UK numbers. However, the cable right now at 133.16.
There's a lot of rejection somehow. It's maybe still going up. It doesn't seem to break the support.
So just updating then on the Kiwi dollar, it has indeed found a level now, 68.42 to the US dollar, so it seems to have calmed down following that immediate move. But it was interesting how the currency started to rise just going into those numbers. Somebody who clearly was more optimistic about those ANZ numbers for the New Zealand economy. But it all ended in tears there as we saw the deterioration there in business confidence figure, and the currency came off on the back of that. It's now found a level at, say, 68.40. seeing the results of the latest Reuters poll on the stock markets in Europe. Says the Euro Stocks 50 index is to fall 1.2% from now to 3,250 by the end of 2019. In the November poll, it was suggested it would fall to 3,325. So it's about 100 points lower in it from the latest forecast. Also, the same Reuters poll suggests the Stocks Europe 600, that's the pan-European ticker, that index is expected to fall 0.7% from now through to 371 points by the end of 2019, compares with 373 recorded in the November poll. So not a big move there for the pan-European one, at least. Seems like most of the burden is going to be felt essentially by the Eurozone and by the blue chips there, the Euro Stocks 50 index.
What you thinking there, SwingFish?
I was thinking I'm making a quick scalp, which turned out to be pretty expensive now.
Damn.
I haven't managed the size yet. It's kind of small account.
You think the Nikkei is going to keep going, or is this just market open?
That is. Oh, that is far. Looks like it's gonna keep going, but we are at some horizontal level now. For ASEAN, it's still more bullish, but there's a moving average on the 30-minute right now. Guess that's what it's holding it back now. But I'm too heavy, I cannot really let it go. Yeah, that went kinda solid there. And it rejected the rewrap as well.
Well, currently it's a big red candle. What, 3 minutes left?
I better just hold the hedge for now. Oh, it's 7:10. I have to wake up my daughter.
Let her sleep.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
I just watched a really good film.
What'd you watch?
Have you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? The animated one that came out.
Hell no.
It's actually really good. Like, surprisingly.
Take your word for it.
Oh fuck, why did I hedge on dollar yen? It's going right to my target.
Oh yeah, it did actually.
That's annoying.
I didn't believe it will do that, but look at the Nikkei now, so...
Yeah. I'm hedged at like 0.3% drawdown anyway, so it's like nothing.
I mean a lot more. I'm trading a small account today and I'm way oversized.
Yikes. If once I flip the hedge, I literally need 1 pip, 2 pips to make profit.
I need 5 for break even. But ASEAN is right at the moving average on the 30 minute. I guess that's why there is the price pitchy now.
What's the Nikkei do? Ooh, Nikkei dropped like a stone. Jesus. Was that Tokyo Open that did that?
That's just some
Yeah, it must have been.
10 minutes before the open there were some statistics data.
Ah.
It dropped in pre-market already and now it's cash and it's just stopped moving, so I suspect it's gonna go back up.
I kind of hope it does out if I can close the sell hedge.
I'm also long bias for ASEAN.
That helps.
Some fixed income updates for you. The 10-year Australian Govy, it's moved a fair amount, around about 2.1% nearly in the last few minutes. Doesn't appear to be anything specific that it's linked to there, because we've not had any developments from Australia specifically. We had, of course, 10 minutes ago, the somewhat upsetting numbers there from New Zealand for business confidence. That certainly slid, and that affected, as we know, the
it dropped really hard on the bad news, and then cash came in and it just stopped moving.
10-year Govy in Australia right now yielding 2.116%. That's up 4.6 basis points on the day. It's up around 2.22%.
It didn't get over the VWAP either.
I wish to convert it into that. So it's a fair sized move. It's not a huge move, obviously. I mean, we've had in the course of the last few hours, we've had much larger.
I just need 5 pips. I'm just way oversized.
So we had at 13:15 GMT
and
on
plus
Wednesday.
0.7 and minus 6.1. It's about 5.5 pips.
From around 2.068%.
I'm just going to put my hedge below the pivot.
11.4, so it's a good 5 basis points.
Yeah, that's a good place to put it.
In the course of a couple of hours or so. But in terms of a sharp move, certainly that's a quick move, a sharp move. We're seeing there the elevation there to the yield. Again, there's no particular news flow yet on that side. Maybe people are reading something into the forthcoming private capital expenditure numbers for the fourth quarter. They're due at the bottom of this hour from Australia. Maybe they read something into.
But no, yeah, dollar yen made a valid head and shoulders pattern.
From what we saw
just dropped like a stone
in New Zealand, but I think that's a bit of a stretch to make that assumption. So then, quick reminder then, we have got data indeed from Australia at the bottom of the hour. It's the fourth quarter private capital expenditure, expected to be up by 1%, reversing the drop of 0.5% that we saw in the third quarter. We also get at the same time from Australia the private sector credit numbers for January. Month on month expected to rise by 0.3%, extending on the 0.2% rise we saw in
There we go,
December.
it's testing the VWAP the third time now.
Year on year,
The Nikkei, I mean.
to be up 4.3%. That's exactly the same as what we saw in December.
Yeah. The live deal map is really confusing me.
The what?
The live deal BAP.
Oh, I don't use it. It's mixed way too much load if you have several positions on.
It's fine for me. It's just the labels are kind of confusing me.
Oh, you can change the transparency and whatnot. But I don't use it.
It's not the transparency. It's the data that it's giving me.
Oh. Oh, it's relative data, not absolute.
I'll work it out.
I knew it's gonna go back up. The target is 24 pips up. That would be really nice. But it's kind of dangerous now. Australian news in 11 minutes, but this is low impact.
Yeah, no concern of mine.
Yeah, it should be if you have a 1 pip hedge.
I'm not hedged anymore.
Oh, okay.
I closed the hedge, starting to round off. Nikkei looks fairly bullish. Close the hedge and put the next hedge underneath the daily pivot for dollar yen. It looks like it's going to break above VWAP. Tokyo Open, it made less than a 3 pip overshoot.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna pull back. The US yen is gonna go, still going down.
I might just buy some more, actually. Make it interesting.
A story just breaking now is this is from the Securities Times, which is the a publication in China, saying that many Chinese companies report loss on goodwill impairment. We're not quite sure what the numbers are yet, but that's the headline coming over.
Yeah, I bought a little more of that support level. One more lot won't hurt.
That's what I was thinking as I start trading. Then I realized that I have only 10% of the account balance.
Damn. Are you trading your web's account today?
No, it's another account, new one.
So just referencing some of the Australian assets as we head towards those numbers from Australia at the bottom of the hour. Reminder, we've got private capital expenditure for the fourth quarter due to be around 1%, expected to be rising there 1%. And the private sector credit numbers for January, month on month expected to be up by 0.3% and year on year up 4.3%. So then the 10-year government bond in Australia currently yielding 2.114%.
Until it's out. I guess I wait until it's out of this area. I would be break even now if I would have reversed, but I didn't.
And the Australian dollar against the US dollar there, at 71.48. That's up 0.15% there on the day.
Looks very bullish, to be honest. Just the Nikkei looks a bit strange.
Hey, dollar yen broke above. View up, and now it's pushing.
The Nikkei moving pretty quickly.
A little bit more for it to break this little downtrend. Hey, there we go. Broke above just slightly.
Not safe yet.
Problem is, right at this point where dollar yen is, a lot of sellers are going to jump on board.
We understand that Wilson Raybould has now ended her testimony to lawmakers in Ottawa. This is the former government minister who's accusing Trudeau's aides of having put pressure on her to drop prosecution against a company.
Oh, fuck it. Close all there. Up 2.7% for the day. And right when I close it drops. Nice. Actually, that looks like a VWAP reversal on dollar yen. I probably could have held that. In fact, I might buy more.
Yeah, it looks like it actually. But we are too early. This could be just volatility.
Yeah.
Nikkei is going back down. Right at the VWAP now, the Nikkei. Moment of truth.
Shh.
Looks like it's rejecting.
Fuck.
Oh, maybe not. US yen is right at the VWAP. Why is US yen not really moving? But I'm on a 5-hour chart now. Oh yeah, Nikkei is failing again. Ooh.
This could be a reversal on the Nikkei.
Yeah.
If it breaks above the high that it just
go
made.
now to those Australian numbers. A reminder, we've got fourth quarter private
I'm gonna
capital
buy.
expenditure
Gonna buy.
expected to be up 1%.
The news in
We've
2
got
minutes.
January private sector credit month-on-month expected to rise 0.3% and year-on-year to rise 4.3%.
Purge on, stop the bot, buy some fucking stuff.
I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, it's gonna go more down. Nikkei is right at the VWAP now.
What's up?
Hey bud.
Hey there.
One minute to the news. Alarm, not high impact anyway.
Oh, the Aussie news is high impact. The private capital expenditure
When's that?
in 1 minute.
Yikes. Nah, I shouldn't have too big an effect on me. Actually, I'm just gonna get out flat.
The Australian numbers.
There we go. 0.0001% equity gain. Fuck yeah. That's me done for the day.
40 seconds.
And while we wait for those numbers,
Looks
China's
very-
USD expected to set yuan midpoint today at 6.6874 to the US dollar, according to a Reuters poll. We'll get the real deal, of course, in under an hour's time.
Oh, it's not high impact? Then why is this stupid shit showing high impact?
Nikkei is still on the way up. Oh shit, the spread is gonna get wide. It's gonna go down.
2%, that's a major beat there for private capital expenditure in Australia. 0.2% for month-on-month credit.
Okay, that was easy.
And 4.3% as expected for the year-on-year private
Jesus
sector credit.
Christ, what is
So
going
just
on?
recapping then, the private capital expenditure fourth quarter comes in at
I'm watching
2%.
your
That's a
Aussie.
stonking outperformance of the
That was an
expected
easy take profit.
1% rise there in
I gotta
Australia.
change the template
And
for
the
that.
January
Fuck,
private
12%.
sector credit month-on-month was
Wow.
expected to be 0.3% up. It only went up 0.2%. That is a miss.
9.093%. Holy shit.
At 4.3%.
That was a quick day.
Big move though on the result of that.
Alright,
As
that's
you
it.
might expect on those capital expenditure figures in the Australian dollar, it's now at 71.63 compares to 71.45. just
Dollar yen did
prior
not
to
move
those numbers
at all.
being released.
Yeah, I might just buy into a dollar yen again.
Similarly, quite a move as well in the 10-year Govy.
That's
in
all I
Australia.
want to
That's
do,
now
so
at
now I can go back to my real account.
2.124%.
If you did that on your real account, you could buy a new car.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be like, oh, holy shit, that would be a ton of money. But I will not take that risk anyway.
2.119%. Let's not get
Of course
too
not.
excited.
You're over leveraged on this
So
account
slight
anyway.
movement there, about
Yeah,
half a
yeah,
basis
just
point
5
in
grand on it, and I was
the 10-year
long
Govy
with
in
4 lots.
Australia. The real mover, without a shred of a doubt, is the
Yikes.
Australian dollar against the US dollar there. It peaked at around 71.59 from 71.45. Good immediate spike higher. It's coming off though slightly now. It's trying to hold on, but it's the momentum is starting to lose on that.
Look at the Kiwi.
71.58. There you go. It's coming off a little bit now.
Damn.
Kiwi just pinned straight out, rejected off a pivot, and went straight back down again.
Some of the allied numbers to that, Australia is saying fourth quarter business investment was up 2% quarter on quarter, as we reported, but also the Australian firms planning to spend 92.1 billion Australian dollars worth in 2019 to 2020. That is more than the estimate of 90.5 billion Australian dollars. Australian firms also plan to spend 118.4 billion Australian dollars in 2018 to 19. So in the ongoing year, if you will. Australia is saying fourth quarter equipment, plant, and machinery investment rose 0.7% quarter on quarter. That's pretty much it for those numbers.
That target is supposed to take all day to get there.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm buying back into dollar yen before it fucking leaves without me.
If you see my hedges, then you know I was very heavy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your word for it.
I just posted it in a trading room. It's 3 times.
Dollar yen looks ridiculous for me. Wow. I've got some volume. I've got some volume on dollar yen, but it's taken off without me, and I'm not even leveraging. That's depressing. Not even leveraged.
So that news was not high impact, but it affected very strongly.
Yeah, I'm assuming the data that was presented was either massively above or below whatever was consensus or previous or whatever.
Just seeing a revision to one of the numbers there, the Australian private sector credit.
I'm gonna stop the live stream here. I'm gonna be back in about an hour.
To 4.4% from a previous 4.3%.
Done in half an hour. Nice one.
Yeah, actually, I just fuck it, call it a day.
Yeah, you should.
But it's just a smaller account.